thought that was funny, didn't you?
No, I'm laughing at the fact that it actually says 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Empire 161 show. We are back, and thanks for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. We're back home in our Sunday late afternoon, evening spot.
Ish.
Yeah, whichever, it depends. We got to work around the Yankees. So,
you know what it's like, Ed?
What is it like?
It's kind of like it's our brunch spot.
At 5 o'clock, at 6 people, is this brunch thing going on at that time?
For some people, it does. It's a late brunch.
I don't know about that. I would have no idea. But thanks for joining us, as always. If you're joining us on the Facebook live stream, joining us on YouTube or Twitter, Instagram, or if you found the audio-only podcast, we appreciate the support. And, yep, we're opening up Lean Back by the Terror Squad and Fat Joe for our boy Garrett Cole, who is off to one hell of a start this season. So, thanks for joining us. And a quick note, want to bring this up during the podcast today, the broadcast. We want to go ahead and make sure you send us some stars and a digital gift that helps us earn money for Pop Culture Pros, because that's what we are presented by. So come hang out and talk some Yankees baseball. But I'm Ed, and with me, as always, is Lisa. Lisa, what's up?
Hey, I am so happy to be back on the podcast. We had to take a very, very tiny hiatus at the beginning of the season because I had to have a surgery. But I'm great. I'm fine. I'm healing. Everything is back. I picked the perfect time to do it because I picked opening week of baseball. So while I was in the hospital, I got to watch Yankee games, which totally helped with my healing and my sanity in the hospital. But yeah, I've just done nothing but watch games since. I'm still in recovery, but I'm good. And I'm just happy to talk about baseball again. Happy to see Ed's face on the screen again. I'm ready to get into it whenever you are. We're going to talk about the series with the Guardians, this series that just wrapped up with the Twins, happily with a Yankee win and Cole's domination. We'll get to that later. And then we'll talk about the upcoming series that we have with the Angels, which is pretty exciting. The only thing that I'm, slightly disappointed by is Shohei Ohtani is pitching on Monday, Monday tomorrow. So we won't see him pitching, but we will see him at that, which I think is pretty cool. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also sad that we're not going to see him pitch because the Yanks have kind of had their way with him pitching so far.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it should be an exciting time to welcome them in this early in the season. Star-studded matchup. You have Ohtani and Trout and Judge playing in the same game. I mean, this is going to be like, a spotlight for early season baseball here. So that's going to be pretty awesome, man. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and let's just jump right into it here because we got some baseball to talk about. So let's rewind it back to last Monday, where the Yankees went ahead and opened up a series against the Cleveland Guardians, and they were edged out by a final 3-2. Domingo Germán did get the start, but took a no decision. It only went 3 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, 5 walks, which is very un-Germán-like, and no strikeouts. So those two were the numbers that jump off the page right to me immediately. Ian Hamilton took the loss in relief. He went 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 3 walks. So walks really a problem. He had 8 walks between 2 pitchers on the day. That's going to be a tough one. But, I mean, all things considered, still lost 3-2. So. But Gleyber Torres continued his hot start, going 2 for 3 with a double and a run scored and a walk. And Giancarlo Stanton was 1 for 4 with a 2 RBI double. He was off to a hot start as well. We'll talk about him a little bit more in a bit. But yeah, those are two guys that have definitely been off to great starts. I mean, not 1 through 9, the Yanks have been tearing it up, but Stanton and Gleyber have been 2 of the bright spots, early on so far.
Yeah, and speaking of Stanton, I know we're going to get to him later, and I just want to say, preview, I'm very sad about that, of course. But I did want to mention in terms of this game that with that 2-run double that he had, it was his 126th batted ball at 116 plus miles per hour when StatCast started. And the next closest player, this boggles my mind. The next closest player with bat speeds like that is Aaron Judge with 39.
Yeah, Stanton. You can say a lot. Listen, I understand like some of the frustration with Stanton as a Yankee during his time, and we elaborate more in a bit. I'm not saying he's been perfect for the Yanks, but he's also done more. He's done better things than some fans want to give him credit for. But
he's done a lot more than Aaron Hicks.
This is true, but we're really setting the bar low if that's what we're comparing to Aaron Hicks.
No, I know. I just had every episode. I gotta get one in.
No, but I mean, the dude just absolutely destroys baseballs.
Oh.
I mean, it's insane how much. I mean, we didn't. It happened during our our brief hiatus, but that home run that he hit in a stadium that was like over the Mohegan. No, it used to be Mohegan Sun. Now it's like the Pepsi Lounge or whatever.
Yeah.
The dead center field was nuts. Yeah, I was there for that. That's one of the furthest home runs I've ever seen hit in my life.
And that's his second furthest home run ever.
Yeah, I mean, when he gets a hold of them, he squares them up, man. They go a hell of a long way.
And what's crazy, I will like always be amazed by this. What's the craziest, most beautiful thing about it is his swing. It's like, it looks like it's all arms. I know it's not. It's impossible to hit a ball that far, all arms. I don't care how jacked you are. But like, he's so quick that even in instant replay slow-mo, it's not in slow motion when he actually swings. I don't know if you ever noticed that.
Yeah.
His swing in slow-mo is like a 10-year-old swing. I don't know, like it's just like constant. It's crazy. It's crazy. His swing is amazing.
Yeah, and he's got a real quick swing. I mean, yeah, there will be times where he gets fooled on breaking balls and can look really bad at times.
Yes.
But I mean, when he's on, I mean, he's really on. He can carry the team for weeks at a time.
Yes.
So, all right, so that goes ahead and brings us to last Tuesday night, where the Yanks went ahead and bounced back against the Guardians, beating up on them by a final of 11-2. Garrett Cole, though, that man went ahead and got his third win of the season, going 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 3 Ks. So not really like a typical Cole start out of him because the strikeout totals were low. But the great ones, that's what they do. They find a way to get outs and still be extremely effective, even though they don't have like all their top stuff.
I mean, the biggest thing about that line for me is 7 innings. We need that right now. We need that desperately from our starters. So for him, that's why he's the ace and a professional, right? Like he is, I have to say, the epitome of professional, because he will grind it out knowing that the bullpen needs help. The bullpen is being used too much. And he'll be like, well, then I'm going to do as much as I can, even if it's not like my normal numbers.
Yeah, and everything we hear about him, he takes a ton of pride in pitching deep into games and being the ace and being the guy who sets the tone, the stopper when they need him. And that's why, I mean, I'm a big fan of his. I mean, he really has earned it. I mean, I know last year we talked at times where it was frustrating because what he has at times. He's shown what he's had, sticky stuff or not. It seems like he's kind of started to, at least early on in the season, he started to find it again. To really that top 5 in all of baseball stuff again. And some have alluded to the pitch clock possibly being it, where it's just like, hey, there's no more thinking anymore with him. It's just boom, boom, boom. And it's definitely shown. But in this kind of a start, that's extremely impressive. Like I mentioned, still gutting it out for 7 innings and holding them down was great. Yeah.
I know we're going to talk about the pitch clock, but I just want to say I definitely think that's something that works in his favor because he doesn't like the nonsense. He doesn't like the Star Wars noise that after 2 strikes, like he can't stand. He's like, lower the volume. I've also noticed, I don't know if you've noticed, I've seen a lot more personality with him.
Yeah, I can agree on that.
At one of the games, he was playing peekaboo with a kid in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
And like they showed that, and I don't know. I like today he smiled on the mound for like the first time ever.
Yeah.
So I think that he is in some ways like letting go of some rigidity, and I think that's actually helping him.
Yeah, you're right. That's a great point though, Lisa, because he Yeah, we did. We saw that video that I think it was in Baltimore where he was playing peekaboo and stuff like that. Where he seems as intense as he is. Maybe he's kind of like somewhat scaled it back a little bit and kind of just his personality is showing more through. And he's just playing the game now. He's not trying to like be so focused over to the point where it's like paralyzing,
Right.
or it's overthinking things. He's just kind of like, hey, Trevino throws it down, I throw it, that's it. I play the game, end the story. Kind of like with the old Rivera quote. It's just like, hey, I go ahead, I pitch, I take a shower or something like that. Like it's just simplifying things, and the pitch clock maybe has done it for him.
Yeah.
But offensively though, Franchy Cordero banged his third home run of the season with 3 RBIs, so the Yanks may have found another diamond in the rough with him. DJ LeMahieu also off to a really good start, was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, a walk and a double. Aaron Judge was 2 for 5, and Anthony Rizzo was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, a run scored, and a walk. So, Yanks win a pretty overall dominant performance there to bounce back and take that middle game of the series against Cleveland.
Yeah, and speaking of Franchy Cordero, I just want to name that at that game, he recorded his 10th RBI of the season, and that was tied with Robin Ventura on the most for a player's first 6 games with the Yankees since 1920.
And we're always impressed whenever we get crazy stats like that because of how rich in history the organization is.
Yep.
But Yanks went ahead the next afternoon and went ahead and took the series finale by a final of 4-3. Clark Schmidt, not off to the best start, had a no decision. Only lasted 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 3 Ks. Wandy Peralta, though, picked up the win in relief. And Clay Holmes, who did struggle with his command, and he's kind of been struggling with his command a bit to start the season, did pick up his 4th save of the season, and that was a pretty sticky situation he found his way out of. But Franchy Cordero hit his 4th home run of the season and tied the game up late. And Oswaldo Cabrera was 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. And he went ahead and knocked in the winning run in the 9th inning. One odd thing about that, though, was I know he hit a rocket, but he was on first base. I kind of thought that was at least a double, or I actually thought it may have been gone off the bat, but he was pumped up or whatever. Again, it's a nitpick thing, but I was just like, you're on first base, dude. I mean,
I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was him or him and somebody else. I feel like this happened twice, not in the same game, where it was hit so hard that like the ricochet got back to the outfielder so quickly that you couldn't. It would have normally been a double somewhere else if it didn't hit the wall so hard. But it like ricocheted back so quickly that like he can only get one. But yeah, considering he's a pretty fast runner, I was also surprised by that. I do want to say quickly about Oswaldo Cabrera. His go-ahead single in the 9th helped the Yankees clinch their first 4 series to open the season for the hold on, let me read this. For the 5th time in franchise history, the Yankees won their first 4 series.
And that's the ticket, right? If those who can remember back to the 98 Yankees, I mean, overall with the playoffs, they won 125 games, but the key is just winning series. Just don't drop series. Keep taking 2 out of 3. They'll just keep piling. The wins will keep piling up, and you'll be in pretty damn good shape. That's
one of John Sterling's favorite things to talk about.
It's the truth. Like it is, though, because Jerry and I joke around a lot where, and especially like at the time we were 18 years old with her, it felt like the Yankees literally won every single night. Yeah. Like it was just like, hey, did we say we were out hanging out and you were busy? It was kind of checking in on the game. And at that time, there was no smartphones or anything like that to check up on them. It's like, oh, well, how much?
How did you check on the game back then?
Bars had TVs on. Bars that I was not supposed to be in at the time. We won't name drop any of those bars. Allegedly, some Queens bars were a little lenient with the age that they let their people into, but it was all good. We'll leave that at that. Some of those bars may or may not be open anymore. Who knows? But it just did. It went ahead and just felt like the Yanks were winning every single night. But they did lose games. But just take 2 out of 3. You're going to drop series sooner or later. But keep tacking on, and you'll be in really good shape.
Yep.
What is not in really good shape, though, was the series opener.
Have to talk about this game.
We'll make it brief. Because, I mean, There were some people encouraging me on my group text to make it brief also, but it's just not going to happen. Unfortunately, the Yankees went in and got destroyed by the Minnesota Twins by the final of 11-2. Johnny Brito was the one who really took it for the Yanks. He suffered his first loss of the season. He only lasted 2/3 of an inning. 6 hits, 7 earned runs, a walk, which was tied for the most runs the Yankees have ever given up at home in franchise history. I can say I was there for history. Not the history I want. I'll never forget it. I'll tell you that much. That it will not be forgotten. Anthony Rizzo, though, did have himself a game. He was 3 for 4 with 2 home runs, and that gave him 3 home runs on the season. So I was telling Lisa before we went on, Yanks didn't have a hit until like the 4th or 5th inning. As it is, they're getting shut out. And I was with our friend Joe at the game, and I'm like, dude, we'd have to start making something entertaining out of this because it's early, and Lisa knows how I'm going to believe that they can chip away and they would eventually come back. But I'm like, hey, I'm not going to go ahead and go get a soda until they get a base runner. Give me a damn base runner at that point.
What was the weather like? I forgot to ask.
Oh no, the weather was nice.
Was nice. Hot? Was it one of the hot days?
It was warmer, but I also wasn't sure what to go with, shorts or pants to this game. So that tells you where we were at weather-wise.
Okay.
And I went with pants. So
I'm just trying to get a sense of like how parched you were.
How parched? Oh, I was pretty parched. And I'll tell you why. Because we got there early, right? Anyone who listens, Lisa knows I get there early for free parking because I'm not paying for that crap.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's nonsense. So we went ahead and we're like, I was telling Joe about the 99 burger. And I'm like,
that was that day. Okay.
He was like, let's go. So just for those who have not gotten the 99 burger, we were able to get it. But there is a process. Number one, it's on the second level behind home plate, like just off home plate. So that's where it's going. It looks like they put a lot of the new food in that section. I don't know if they try to bring more foot traffic through the second section or not, the 200 level. So the food's there. It's 2 lines. One is for ordering. One is for pickup. They are not labeled. Okay? Now, and me and Angie knew this because on opening day we went and we saw this. And we knew in advance, but there were a lot of people who don't. There are people on the wrong lines, left and right, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I would be so mad if I was waiting on the wrong line.
Oh, but Lisa, it gets better because there's something that's going to infuriate you. So, but we did the right thing. The line to order wasn't too bad. And this is why I was like, let's do it today. Because me and Angie tried an opening day. Lines were way too long. We're like, screw this. We obviously got more than enough games to go to. Let's go to like a random weeknight game and we'll try it then. Strategize now. Yeah. And that's what we tried. It was a Thursday night against the Twins. And I'm like, I'm here early. Let's do it. So that was fine. The line to get the burger takes a little bit longer. The person in front of us, this random dude in front of us, goes ahead and the guy's like, your receipt for your order. He's like, oh, I didn't order. And he had to get off the line and go back on the ordering line. To get on the, not back on the ordering line, because apparently he never was.
Oh.
He went on that one. I felt so bad for him. And I looked at the guy who was asking for the ticket. I showed him mine quick, and I'm like, dude, that has to happen a lot. He goes, yeah. I'm like,
can't they just put up a sign?
Exactly. I'm like, guys, you really might want to talk to the manager. Yeah. You want to talk to the manager and say, order, pick up. That's what you got to do, something. It's not a perfect process. And they also, I think they need like a bigger grilling area because they're made fresh. Like they'll literally cook them, and that's what it takes, which is cool. I think you need like a bigger grilling station or something just so you can pump them out faster and make it go. And they have a clock that's a countdown thing that tells you how many are left.
Right.
So you're not wasting your time. Yours? When we ordered, there was like 60 something left.
Okay.
At that time. So you knew once I looked at it. Yeah. No, if I went there and I saw it, I'm like, no, I'm good. And that's that. So we got ours. Absolutely delicious. You can, and you could also tell them to hold stuff if you want. It's not like they make them and then just shove you with anything. So it's really good. It's true that Wagyu meat really does kind of like melt in your mouth. It's that good. Get a couple of napkins because you're going to need them. It is a bit messy there, but it's really, really good.
So is it like is it chopped up like burger meat?
No. It's not like the chopped cheese sandwich thing that's in center. No, it's 2 patties. It's a double burger.
So it's a burger.
Yeah,
it's a burger patty. It's just wagyu.
Yeah, it's wagyu meat. And
Okay.
Two slices of cheese, 2 burgers. You get your pickles on it or not. Well, you can tell them. So when your day comes, if I'm with you or not, just tell them to hold the pickles.
Yeah.
That's all. And they will. And they got a secret sauce that they put on there, and there's grilled sauteed onions and stuff.
Take all the onions.
And that's it. You can tell them extra. They'll do it. It's like whatever. I mean, it's a freaking $20 burger.
That just sounds gigantic. Like I definitely would have to. That's a before the game.
Yes. Thing. Well, Lisa, you know the deal. I like to get there early.
Yeah, we have a plan, folks. We have a plan when we go to games.
Yeah, there's a game plan. Trust me, there's an absolute game plan.
Because I can't see. I mean, I hate eating at the seat because I need a table.
Yeah.
Right. So to eat what you just said, like at the seat itself, I would be so pissed off and I would totally get it all over me.
Oh, I would be wearing
what we do is perfect for that. So I'm looking forward to our first game.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna hold off. I can hold off on the Wagyu burger. I mean the 99 burger until then, because
you can't get that every game.
No, for tons of reasons. Number one, I'd probably
price?
Yeah, that's price, time consumption. Just food consumption. It's what it is. It's not like a huge burger though. It looks like a regular sized burger, but it's extremely filling.
Yeah.
Like the times I went, like that was it. You ate the burger, and that was it. I got my drink afterwards. I got my soda in the middle of the game, and that was it. So
no pretzel, no. Okay.
No. Yeah, no. You know me. I love the pretzel twist. Also, it's done. That's the meal. That's it.
So you know what I love? We focus on that instead of this actual terrible game. So I'm gonna bring it.
That was the highlight of the game for me.
Oh, that was the highlight of the game for me to hear that. I just want to say one thing about this game that I really like. We're both big fans of Anthony Rizzo, and he hit his 2 home runs. And normally, at the end when he gets back in the dugout and he's high fives everybody, he and Gleyber Torres always turn to the camera and do this. And like have their arms around each other. They only, like went like this real quick and then walked away because they were getting slaughtered. And I so respect Anthony Rizzo for that. I think there are definitely players on other teams, definitely newer players who would go crazy, celebrate, get a belt, whatever, even if their team is losing 11-2. So I just think that, that shows his professionalism and the fact that he cares that the team is losing. He doesn't care that he hit a home run. He cares that his team is losing. And I love players who have that mentality more so than their focus on their own individual stats.
Yeah, you got to read the room in that situation. And that's a great example of doing that.
Yeah.
One fun thing I do want to say, though, that happened in the 9th inning, because IKF pitched the 9th inning of this game. Okay,
it was my favorite thing.
The 9th. So my highlights of this game with the 99 burger
and the 9th inning.
The 9th. Well, I'll say I enjoyed Anthony Rizzo having a game, but still, you're right. Within the blowout, you're like whatever. IKF though pitches the 9th inning. That was a wacky thing. The best part though is after he's coming off the mound, he goes to the umpire to check his hands, and the dude's like, "Dude, get out of here." Like, get lost.
And he was like, "No, I want you to.
I love that. I thought it was actually gave me me and Joe were dying laughing actually when that happened because at least it gave us something to smile about.
That was super cute. I have to say, so I don't know if you could tell where you were sitting, but I was like really watching him to see, and he was just like he was chomping his gum. He looked so. I mean, at that point, you can look comfortable because it doesn't matter what happens because you've already gotten blown out. Yeah. But like some position players might be like, "Oh crap." He was just like, "I'm gonna have fun." What would have been great? I know it would have been totally inappropriate, but I would have loved if he tried to do the Nestor Cortez.
Oh, the whole that
would have been so funny. But yeah, he was just like chomping his gum. I thought he did a pretty decent job. Like it didn't take him that long to get the outs.
No, he gave up a single and that was it. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, he's throwing like 30, 40 miles an hour at times.
And one of them was like, woo!
Yeah.
Listen, he did way better than many other people would be able to do. I thought he looked pretty confident out there, and it was just a delight to see that.
Yeah, in situations like that, the whole thing about staying until the end, you got to have some sort of entertainment value besides just the whole lunacy that you have. Where I'm just like,
too bad there wasn't a bag flying around the outfield like that one game.
I would have been entertained by that too.
Game.
Yes. But we needed something, man, because it's pretty much like, hey, laugh so you don't cry at that point.
Yeah.
But frustrating thing though was, and it was Tino Martinez bobblehead night, so that was cool. But fortunately, the Yanks went ahead and dropped this one to the Twins by a final 4-3. Nestor Cortez though did have a strong outing. He had a no decision, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, and 7 Ks. Clay Holmes came in the 8th inning, and I needed to hear the explanation from Boone after this. Of course, when he was coming in the 8th, I was like, what? Why? Do we need him to go 6-out save in early April? And the explanation was because there was a right-handed lane in the lineup, and the top of their lineup was all right-handed. I'm not saying I don't disagree with the logic there, but if he got them out, then you were coming back with who for the save? Because that still would have been like a thing. So don't love this, and it wasn't a second guess. It was a first guess. So unfortunately, that didn't work out. But the highlights of the game, though, was Anthony Volpe going 1 for 3 with his first career home run.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool and did get the ball back eventually with a walk. Aaron Judge, though, they went back-to-back in the bottom of the first inning. It was his 5th home run of the season. Giancarlo Stanton was 2 for 4 with his 4th home run of the season. And Oswaldo Cabrera was 2 for 4 with a stolen base for his 2nd of the year. One of those rare times where the Yanks dropped a game where Stanton and Judge homered in the same game. I mean, This has been like a tremendous record that they have during that time. But yeah, this was a tough one there. And Clay Holmes' control was like all over the place.
Yeah. So I have 2 notes and then a comment about Clay Holmes coming in at that point. So my 2 notes are that Anthony Volpe was the 7th Yankee to hit his first career home run in the leadoff spot and the first since Bobby Richardson in 1959, which that was a long time ago. Yeah. And then look, I have one for Carlos Correa in case anybody who's watching who complains about us wants to know. Carlos Correa has hit safely in 8 straight games versus the Yankees and has homered 5 times within that span. So I do hear all the boos for him, but he's a hell of a player.
Every single time.
He's a hell of a player, though, I got to say. And my comment is, I was very confused when Clay Holmes came in, and I actually said to myself, we're going to lose the game. I don't know what made me say, even before he even pitched, because I was like, why is he here now? Like, he's not supposed to be here right now. And Nestor had a great freaking, he didn't have, complete lights out. At the end, he was grinding, but he did what we were just talking about with Garrett Cole as well. He grinded it out. He knew that the bullpen needed relief. He gave 7 hard innings. Mm-hmm. And then in the freaking 8th inning, you ruined it.
Yeah, I mean, I am actually on board with Holmes getting the first crack at the closer's role again because I think he did show what he's capable of in the first half last year. The second half, his control became an issue. He's got the stuff for it. The question is, does he have the mental makeup to be a closer long term? Mm-hmm. And I think it shines a light on the greatness of Mariano Rivera that he was able to be a dominant closer as long as he was, because it doesn't happen very often. Closers flame out after a couple of years, and then that's that. So that's what makes it so much more impressive that he was able to do it for freaking 20 years.
Absolutely. But to me, it would have made more sense Wandy first, then Clay. That would have made more sense to me.
Yeah, but the rationale there was he wanted the righty-righty matchup, which is Holmes' strength, that he's way more effective versus righties than lefties. I'm just saying and I know that there's the belief, the new school version of baseball is sometimes you use your closer earlier in the game when you feel like the game is on the line against the middle of the order or the best part of their order. So I get the logic. I still don't necessarily agree with it. I think you try to get an outs with somebody else, and your closer is still your closer. That's it.
Yeah.
And again, not second guessing it. I was scratching my head when he first came out of the bullpen, and I'm like, but what happens after this? Because if it's still a 1-run, a 2-run lead, if it was still 3-1 going to the ninth, you still need to get it. You still have to have another closer to close the game. So that's the part that didn't work out. But I do think they stick with Holmes to go ahead and give him a couple more shots at this. And yeah, we're still talking about this in a month. Someone else needs to be given a chance. Whoever that might be. Could be Michael King. Wandy Peralta. I think Wandy Peralta maybe doesn't have the stuff for it, but he definitely has the mental makeup for it.
I agree. And if Jonathan Loaizaga, doesn't keep
stay healthy, he has the stuff, and I think he has the mental makeup for it. But he can't stay on the damn field, so that's his problem.
Yeah.
And then regardless, I'm still relieved that we're not literally on the edge of our seats with Chapman anymore.
Oh my gosh, me too.
So take with that. But somebody needs to step up and grab hold of this closer's role. But I'm fine with Holmes still getting the shot, at least for April, and then we can see where we're at then. But the stuff is there. Just got to get the command down. Speaking of getting their command down from their last appearance, Domingo Germán, because yesterday afternoon, this dude was incredible. But this has kind of been Domingo Germán throughout his Yankee career. He'll have games like last time, who wasn't horrendous, but this one he was incredible. Yanks went ahead and took this one 6-1. Domingo Germán picked up his first win of the season, going 6 1/3, 3 hits, an earned run, no walks after the 5 walks from last time, 11 strikeouts.
Extreme different.
Yeah, night and day. Higgy had his second home run of the season, driving in 2. Anthony Rizzo was 1 for 4 with his 4th home run of the season. And Anthony Volpe was 1 for 2 with 3 stolen bases on the day.
Yeah.
2 back-to-back. And that was his 6th. That gave him 6 in a year. And at the time, 6 for 6 on stolen bases on the season. And I really he'll get the batting average together at some point. I like what I've seen from not all the results at the plate have been there. But the element that he brings out of the leadoff spot with his speed is something the Yanks haven't had in forever. And I think this is where he's destined to be, is the leadoff spot.
So ironically, it's probably been since the last number 11 wore number 11.
Who didn't? Yeah, no, but you're right. But he didn't even really lead off that much.
No, he didn't lead off. You're right. But
when was the last time a Yankee? Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. As a base stealer.
No, before that, it was Derek Jeter.
Yeah, who wasn't like a speed demon either, but he was.
He was a smart base runner, is what he was.
Yes.
What I like about Volpe is he's aggressive. Like today, he's like a typewriter out there.
Yeah. Whenever he gets on, I'm just expecting it. I'm like, he's going to take second.
It's so fun to watch that. So much fun. I mean, the last 2 years, we've been talking about how nobody steals anymore and how boring that aspect of the game has been. So this is amazing. I love it.
Yeah. And then that goes ahead and brings us to earlier today.
Wait. Before we talk about today, we could keep it. We could keep it on today's game. But when Giancarlo Stanton hit his 2-run double in the bottom of the 7th, that just missed being a home run, that everybody thought was a home run, including Michael Kay, who made the home run call and then had to apologize. That's when he, what did he sprain his hamstring? Tweaked his hamstring because he thought it was a home run and he watched it. And then when he realized it wasn't, he had to turn on the jets. And then he pulled up to second base with a pulled hammy.
Yeah. When I wasn't sure if it was an injury or not, it didn't appear that way to me during the game. And then Hicks came in. I'm like, all right, he's going in with the pinch runner, put in a little speed. I mean, Hicks has to be on this team for some sort of a reason. So we can go ahead and use this. Until they trade him, unfortunately, he's there for something. I struggle every day to figure out exactly why that is, besides the fact that he signed the contract and that was that.
I think he might babysit Aaron Boone's kids or something. Like his kids and Aaron Boone's kids hang out together. I don't know.
kind of like the dogs with Rizzo and Judge from last time. Yeah, it's frustrating, and whatever that transitions us into today's game. So before today's game, the Yanks went ahead and had to make the move where they put Stanton on the IL with a strained hamstring. He was going for an MRI during the day, so I guess we'll find out more. If Stanton's injury history tells us anything, that means he's probably not going to be out for the minimum 10 days, and hopefully this isn't like, hey, see you in July.
Yeah.
It's frustrating because, like we said earlier in the show, Lisa and I are both fans of Stanton, but the guy needs to stay on the field. I mean, it is frustrating as hell because of what he's capable of. And you can be capable of a lot of great things, but the best ability is availability. And that's been a struggle for Stanton for the last couple of seasons, and it's kind of maddening. What was not maddening, though, was Garrett Cole's performance in today's 2-0 win. Garrett Cole picked up his 4th win of the season. Complete game shutout. Exactly, because you don't see that a lot in today's game at all. So Cole went ahead and did that. 9 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. Absolutely dominating performance. DJ LeMahieu was 2 for 4, driving in both runs.
Yep.
One of them was a solo shot for his 2nd home run of the season. And Anthony Volpe 1 for 4 with his 7th stolen base of the season. Mm-hmm. So kid's starting to look like he's finding his groove there. It'll be interesting to see with Stanton out of the lineup how they're going to go ahead and navigate this. And I kind of do like Volpe settling in that leadoff spot, getting better pitches to hit in front of Aaron Judge. That'll get him going. He brings the speed element of the game to there, and DJ LeMahieu can drop him into an RBI role, which may or may not have been occupied by, Stanton at that point, because not saying he has to back clean up there, but, get him in a spot somewhere between, 5 and 6 around there. I think that's a nice spot for DJ LeMahieu to drive in some runs. But, yeah, they definitely bounced back, did not lose the series, did tie it 2 games apiece. So that was cool to see. And Oswald Peraza is back up. He's the other move taking Stanton's place on the roster. My guess is he's got to play. I don't think they're going to call him up, one of their top prospects, to sit on the bench.
So, yeah, so I was going to bring that up, but I want to say something quickly about this game. Just a really quick thing. When Anthony Rizzo was hit by a pitch in the bottom of the 3rd, sadly, that was the 204th time that he's gotten hit by a pitch, which puts him in 8th place on the all-time list. Do you know who he's tied with?
Jeter?
No. Jeter might be higher up on that. Actually, I think he passed him already.
He got hit a lot.
He gets hit a lot, though. No, this guy's not a Yankee. Wasn't a Yankee.
Never was.
Not to my knowledge.
Go ahead, hit me with it. Who was it?
Chase Utley.
No, not a Yankee, but big time Philly, big time Dodger. Yeah. At that point. Wow, Chase Utley.
Fun fact: one of his nicknames is Silver Fox.
Chase Utley.
Yes.
Wow. I can't say that I've heard that one.
I'm assuming he had prematurely gray hair. Yeah. So yeah, my questions. Oh, here's another fun fact. I don't know if you heard this. I have 2 fun facts about 2 twins before we get into the conversation about Oswald Peralta. Mm-hmm. Did you know that Jose Miranda's cousin is Lin-Manuel Miranda?
I did not know that.
He was at the game today. What I love about that was that Lin-Manuel was there to cheer on his cousin, but he had a Yankee hat on.
Yeah, of course.
That's awesome.
You still gotta represent.
I loved it. It was actually a Yankee hat where the NY was upside down, which I've never seen before. Or at least that's what it looked like. You couldn't really see it because the camera angle, like he had the brim up a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I did see that it was an NY, but I think in one shot it looked like it was an upside down. So I don't know what that's about. And then here's a really interesting fact about the pitcher today, Pablo Lopez. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you heard this, but he graduated high school at age 16. He was accepted to medical school while simultaneously being offered a contract from the Seattle Mariners.
Wow.
He really wants to be a doctor, but he was like, hey, having a major league career is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I can always go back to school after my career is over.
That's pretty impressive.
And then
That is pretty
when he
impressive.
was on, right, where he's
Yeah.
like a modern day Doogie Howser, but way cooler. When he was on the Marlins, his teammates called him Wikipedia because apparently he's like super knowledgeable about everything. I mean, if you want to be a doctor, you have to be a pretty intelligent person. You hope to be. But I thought that was very interesting. So when they were talking about that, I was like, I gotta write this for the podcast because
also he was also in trade rumors last year for Gleyber Torres at the trade deadline.
Oh wow!
He was almost a Yankee.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But that's cool though. Listen, that's crazy. If he goes out and plays an entire career, a major league career, and then goes on and goes.
I mean, didn't Bobby Brown do that?
Yes.
So that's pretty cool, and it's not unprecedented. So
no,
but still, I mean, wow! Imagine being so intelligent and committed that you could be a doctor, which takes a lot of time, and also be talented enough to play baseball. Now, I went to school pre-med. I did not become a doctor. I became a social worker. Pre-med in college, forget about med school itself. Pre-med in college is freaking hard. To be able to go pre-med, well, it sounds like he may not have gone to college, but like to want to go to college to be pre-med and play baseball at the caliber to become a major league player, which is once in a life, it does not happen to everybody. That's amazing. That's an incredible balance and work ethic right there.
Yeah, that's a super talented individual.
Yes.
I'd say that.
All right, so back to Oswald Peraza. I am excited that he's up, but I'm also like, okay, so you're just gonna like rotate DHs or like, you know, who's? I know they said Willie Calhoun will probably be the DH, but like, you need an outfielder because you can't play Hicks every day for sure.
No, no. My guess is Bader should be back soon too.
So, right, but they just haven't said when he's coming back.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what they're going to do in the meantime. I know that they mentioned Josh Donaldson is probably coming back on Wednesday. So Oswald Peraza's time with the Yankees will probably be like relatively short-lived. I hope he gets to play in the games that he's here. I hope he does very well.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting to do that now, I thought.
I would like to see what they see in Willie Calhoun because I'm not really seeing it so far. I mean, again, it's very limited, but I'm not seeing it. So he would be the one who I would rather Donaldson come back and take his spot and let Peraza kind of do something here. My guess is they're going to rotate the DH spot, for the majority of the time that'll be here. They can just use it like that. DJ will probably get some there, but he's also a great defender. Gleyber can get some time at DH as well. Donaldson needs to show that he can hit enough to warrant a DH spot because also he does still got it in the glove as much as I don't really care for him in the lineup every day. But I understand the fact he'll be here because it is what it is.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Peraza though get a shot and start playing. Whether if it's third base. I mean, Volpe's obviously got short. Maybe some second base here and there to get some playing time, but we'll see. It could have. You're right. It could have just been a bookkeeping thing until Donaldson's ready. Which I don't. Why is Donaldson going to play one rehab game and then come back? One rehab game. Maybe he should play 50 rehab games and take his time coming back. I'm not against that.
I would rather wait for Stanton to come off the IL than Donaldson to come back.
Yes. Maybe play rehab games until October. Just a thought. Make sure that Donaldson is 100% healthy. Just saying. It's a possibility. Not saying it's a strong possibility, but it's a possibility. All right. We know that's not happening. So let's go ahead and move on to our awards of the week. So we're doing this for the first time this season. Lisa, top of the heap, hitter of the week. Who do you got?
I got your boy. I got Anthony Rizzo.
I can't argue with this. We have the same. I'm pretty sure we might have the same people this week, but go ahead. I'm sure.
I know. I don't think we have the same people this week. I think I took an unconventional king of the hill, but we'll get there. So okay. Anthony Rizzo, based off the stats that I found today for this week, his OPS is 1.106, averages 348 as of today. 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 walk. His on-base percentage is .414, and his slugging percentage is .692. That is for the last week. And you said you picked him as well?
Yes, which I'm not going to regurgitate the stats. I mean, he's off to a great start. Yeah. Not having banged the shift has definitely helped with his average so far, so that's good to see. Honorable mention, though, to Gleyber Torres and I would say Oswaldo Cabrera, because they're both also really good as well. And Aaron Judge. And Aaron Judge is doing what he does.
I mean, Aaron Judge is at this point. The top of the heap for the majority of the year.
Exactly. So I don't think you go ahead and give that away every week. Our king of the hill, though, is our pitcher of the week. And, I mean, I'm going with Garrett Cole.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, he's off to an outstanding start. We've talked about for most of the earlier today. So who did you go with? I'm actually really fascinated by who you went with, because I figured Cole was the slam dunk choice.
So he is, and I'm not arguing that. But, you know, when I think of impressive things, I think of overcoming as well. Mm-hmm. So I did pick Domingo Germán because, like we said, he was completely night and day from his really bad start until his start this week. And this week he was spectacular. So I had to give it to him just for that alone, just for being able to whatever it was that was going on in that first game, to kind of get that out of his mind and reset and really have a very, very strong outing that we needed from him. Mm-hmm. So that's my king of the hill, but I do have a special shout out to IKF.
Come on, please check him. That was great. All right, so that leads us to our upcoming series that starts on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. The Yankees will be welcoming in the Los Angeles Angels, formerly the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
So glad they dropped that.
Formerly the Anaheim Angels, formerly who the hell knows what else. But yeah, it's showtime in the Bronx the next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So Lisa, who are our probables for the upcoming series against the Angels?
Okay, so I will say the Yankees continue to keep us on our toes. They didn't put their starting pitchers until today, because I looked yesterday and the Angels pitchers were listed, but it was, to be determined up until today. So happy to say I have them all now. So for Tuesday, for the Angels, it's Jose Suarez. He's a left-hand pitcher. He has an 0-1 record and a 10.80 ERA with 6 strikeouts. Hey, listen, our starting pitcher's ERA is not as bad, but it's not good either. So our starting pitcher for the game will be Clark Schmidt. Right-hand pitcher, 8.44 ERA and 11 strikeouts on the season thus far. So, 2 not so stellar pitchers. We'll see what happens.
Joe Girardi would say it's not what you want.
It's not what you want. On Wednesday, Griffin Canning is starting for the Angels, and he's a right-hand pitcher with a 0-0 record, 3.60 ERA and 4 strikeouts. Against Johnny Brito, we'll see which version of him shows up. He has a 2-1 record, 6.75 ERA and 8 strikeouts on the season. So hopefully Johnny Burrito will show up in the way that we want him to. And then on Thursday, Patrick Sandoval will take the mound for the Angels. Left-hand pitcher, 1-0 record, 1.23 ERA and 10 strikeouts. Versus my favorite Yankee, and I can't wait to see his cleats. By the way, I just want to say, if you're not following Soles by Sir, Soles like soles of your feet, SOLES.
I am on Twitter, actually.
Oh my God, I'm following him on our Instagram page, which Ed will name in a little while. I know it's a very long name, but Soles by Sir has been making amazing cleats for Nestor Cortez. His last ones were bubblegum, like the double bubblegum cleats. Before that, they were mustaches. So I cannot wait to see what happens this time with his cleats. I've been following his page and the cleat, and he makes sneakers for basketball. Like, he does sneakers and cleats for everybody. It's amazing. Anyway, back to Nestor, my boy. Nestor Cortez Jr., left-hand pitcher, 2-0 record, should be 3. 2.60 ERA and 15 strikeouts on the season thus far. I cannot wait to see him pitch again. I love when he pitches.
Yeah, and it's a weird 4:05 start on Thursday.
So
Don't know
where
what the hell that's about.
game is on Prime.
Oh, is the Thursday game on Prime?
No, Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday's game is on Prime. Yeah, because they used to just be locked in on Fridays, and apparently it's like all over the place now. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird 4:05 start on Thursday. It's the 4:20 game, which I will be at with Joe and Jerry and his father Ron will be making their return to the stadium on Thursday afternoon. So that should be a lot of fun.
Oh, that'll be
And
nice.
the 4:05 start works out for me personally because the Rangers game 2 of their series against the Devils is at 7:30 that night. So this pitch clock also keeping up the pace. I'll get home for the puck drop. I get to check out both because this is a crazy time of year.
Yes.
For a lot of there's baseball.
For every
There's
New York team right now.
yes, everyone's going right now.
New York team.
Yeah, no matter who you are, if you're a hockey fan, your team's in the playoffs. You're a basketball fan, your team's in the playoffs. Both baseball teams are playing. It's nuts. So it's my favorite time of year. Honestly, it is.
So
like
the guys on Unsportsmanlike Conduct probably have way too much to talk about, right? Is it that's the podcast?
Yes. No, you nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, like right. They have way too much to talk about. They don't even know what to talk about.
No, their shows will probably be a bit longer than usual for them, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. It's just there's always something going on. The fact that all the New York teams are involved is that much better. So there's a lot of double headers going and stuff like that now. So
a lot of happy bar owners.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I think before we sign off though, I just wanted to get our quick thoughts on the new rules. Now that we've had the chance to see them in action, pitch clock, bigger bases, banning the shift. I'll share my quick thoughts on this. I think it's been fantastic. I think this is exactly what baseball has needed. They're getting the exact results they've wanted. They've trimmed off, I think it was 31 minutes a game on average are down now. So if you're not taking any baseball away from me and you're giving it to me at a faster pace and not one that's like jarring, then I can't complain. Honestly, really can't. The larger bases and the pitch clock have also lent itself to more stolen bases. Stolen bases are up again, more action in the game. Batting averages are up across the league as well. So, kudos, because I have been one to rip Rob Manfred on plenty of occasions on this show or anywhere else, but I will give him and his crew kudos to this because you have helped the game. And I think the ramifications of this long term are going to be huge for Major League Baseball. So this has been a huge win. It's early on. But I personally enjoyed the hell out of it. I definitely noticed it, and it's not just overbearing. That's the key part of it. Like it's just not like even in Yankee Stadium, there are two small clocks right above the Mohegan Sun Lounge that show the pitch clock, and that's it. So it's there if you want to see it. If you want to ignore it, which I do most of the time, it's fine. It's just you just see the game at a faster pace. Lisa, what have your thoughts been so far?
I love it. I have definitely sat at way too many games in my life that were very long for no reason because of batters every pitch. I mean, look, one of my favorite Yankees of all time, Derek Jeter, every freaking pitch had to fix his freaking batting gloves. It's like, come on, man. They are not messed up every time. We know what you're doing, and then some batters who would literally walk around home plate. Do a circumference around home plate after every, swing that they didn't like or whatever. Listen, stay in the freaking batter's box. Pitchers pitch the ball. Like you said, it shaved over 30 minutes off the game. I'm so for that because that is not the part of baseball that I like. I do not like delays for those dumb, reasons. This is like, I don't really watch basketball that much. And one of the reasons why is because at the end of the game, the amount of freaking fouls in the fourth quarter. I can't stand it. And the acting. I can't stand it. It's such a delay of the game. So I enjoy that it's really just focused on what it is about baseball that I love.
Yeah,
I love that I can't even stress how much I love that there's more base stealing. I love it. I love that there's more, trying to gun a runner out. I love that. I love that there's still a shift because even today they shifted on Rizzo and Carlos Correa was at the very end of you're going to get in trouble if you take one more step.
which is fine. I don't mind pushing it. Yeah,
fine. That's fine, right? But like the amount of shifting we've seen in the last several years, it was just ridiculous. I mean, there were points where there were only like 2 outfielders sometimes, or there were 4 outfielders, and like, what is this, softball? Which I love too, as you know. But I just really appreciate how much quicker games are moving. The Yankees are notorious for having long games. And I told you, it felt like there were at least 2 times within the last 2 weeks where it seemed like the game was going almost to the border of like a normal length game, like a 3-hour game. And it didn't get to the 3-hour mark, probably. It just felt like it, especially that 11-2 loss. But for the most part, the games are over. Like today's game was over, and you and I actually still had time in between the game and this. That doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. But usually last year we would have been like sweating it out. Hopefully,
we would be like, like, y'all don't know what we're doing behind the scenes before we start. Most of the time, I'm eating something, and Ed's getting ready to eat something right after.
Yeah, and I'm getting like hangry during it too. I'm just like, So no, the pace of play. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, baseball. Thank you, commissioner, for keeping us from getting hangry.
Yes, we don't want that ever. Nobody wins when people are angry. So, all right. So that will do it for us this week. Thanks for joining us as always. If you found us on Facebook, be sure to check out the Empire 161 Show group on Facebook. Also, join that group and see highlights and other articles that don't make the show, because that's always a lot of fun. So join in the daily conversation. Check out Pop Culture Pros as well, because that's who we are presented by. PopCulturePros.com. Check out the website, Facebook group. Check out the YouTube channel if you're checking us out on YouTube. Follow, go ahead and subscribe to Pop Culture Pros. On Twitter, you can check out Pop Culture Pros, but also check out our Twitter handle, which is Empire 161 Show. Catching us on Instagram, of course, the Pop Culture Pros one, and at the _Empire _161 _ show, because that's where we are on Instagram. Lisa manages the Instagram, I manage the Twitter, Facebook, combined effort. So go ahead and check that out. And check out us on the audio only one. Subscribe to Pop Culture Pros, where you found your audio and podcast.
And give us stars. Give us stars.
All the stars. Send us all of them. We'll be back next week. We'll be covering this week's games as well. Probably we'll check out what time. We usually shoot for Sunday late afternoon, evening. So be sure to check that out. And enjoy the week. Let's go Yankees. See you next week. Peace.
Bye, everybody.